Alright, today I'm going to show you how to make garlic butter steak bites. This is a beautiful recipe to crank out on like those busy weeknights. The steak bites themselves take about 15 minutes to cook, so it's something that you could just have done on the table real quick, right? I'm serving it with a creamy polenta because it really is a beautiful vessel for these steak bites to sit in, because the garlic butter will sit and just kind of pull on that creamy polenta. You could take a bite of the steak, take a bite of that creamy polenta with that garlic butter, all in one bite. It is so good. So the cuts of meat that work really great for this are ones that benefit from like a high heat quick sear. That is your ribeye, that is your New York strip, that is your sirloin. Ribeye is a great cut for this because it's nice and tender. This is a choice grade. The marbling on it's pretty decent. Benefits from a high heat quick sear kind of situation. The shallot, I'm just gonna give it a really fine mince on it, but the garlic I'm gonna slice really thin. When you cook it in the pan after you get done searing off the meat, the slices of garlic really cook down, get sweet, they get slightly caramelized, right? Keeping the garlic pieces kind of big gives this dish a really nice garlicky bite to it, right? It's garlic butter steak bites, you want garlic. And because this is spicy goodness, I'm gonna throw in a serrano pepper. You could do jalapeño, habanero, whatever it is that you want to put in there. Spice blend, a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. I have some of my smoked paprika and a little bit of garlic powder. Little sprinkle of each. The polenta itself, we have some cornmeal. Heavy cream is gonna add to the creaminess of this dish. This cheese, this is a beautiful white cheddar cheese that I get from Trader Joe's. Reminds me a lot of a Parmesan. It's like a mixture. If like white cheddar and Parmesan had a baby, like this would be it. It's delicious, man. Minced garlic clove in there. A little bit of chicken stock, a little bit of water. I do want to emphasize that I'm using a room temperature cut of meat. This is pretty important because I want to get a really great sear on this. I want that Maillard reaction. I want that brown, beautiful crust on the outside of the meat as it's cooking off, right? That's flavor, okay? What we're gonna start off with is cutting up the meat, and then we're gonna season it. We're gonna let it sit with the seasoning on it while we make the polenta, basically. It's all super easy, straightforward stuff. One last thing about searing off the meat is that I use a cast iron skillet. Couple reasons. Cast iron skillets retain their heat really well. Second most important thing is that they're nice and thick. If you don't have a cast iron skillet, then choose a pan that has a really nice thick bottom on it. You want it to retain its heat when you drop the meat in the pan, because you want that beautiful crust on there. That's flavor, right? As always with the garlic, you want to cut off the root end. Slice it thin. You don't have to get super precise with it. Everything's gonna get added to the pan at separate times, so they're gonna go in separate containers, of course. It's all about organization, seamless flow. Anytime you're cutting up produce and then raw meat, you always want to start with cutting up the produce. Something you might want to take note of. Shallots are great for this because they have a really nice sweetness to them. They're not as sharp. If you're sensitive to capsaicin, right, serrano peppers have a little bit higher Scoville. I think they sit around like 30,000 or so. Rubber gloves, you definitely want to be wearing when you're cutting up serranos. Have a bad rest of the day if you need to like pop out your contacts and you have capsaicin on your fingers. No good. Right, beauty. Okay, so with this meat, I want to keep some of the fat cap, but I don't want all of that, so I'm gonna just square it off. This is a really great thickness. This is about like 1.5 inches. Try to do your best to have the meat cut up in the same like sizes, because then they'll cook evenly. But you know, obviously the cuts of meat aren't gonna always be uniform in size, so just kind of do your best. So this is all just by eye, but I'll have the recipe kind of just hanging out right there, so you can get a better idea of what I'm using. Pepper, garlic powder. Garlic is definitely a very forward front flavor in this. A little bit of smoked paprika to add a little bit of excitement to it. Gonna help that meat get a really great color. And paprika has a great sweet flavor too, and it's smoked. Let's let this sit just like this while we make that polenta.
Alright, so to start the polenta, we start off with a small stock pot over medium-low heat. Give it some oil and then the garlic. Give the garlic a small pinch of salt to pull out the natural flavor on it, and spread the garlic down until it cooks off the rawness and browns slightly. Now add in the water and then the chicken stock. Crank up the heat medium-high and bring this liquid up to a boil. Now you want to season this with some freshly cracked black pepper. Once the cooking liquid has come up to a boil, now you want to turn the heat back down to medium-low and slowly add the cornmeal, stirring constantly. The point of this is to avoid the cornmeal from clumping up. If the cornmeal is being a little bit stubborn and clumps up, then you can definitely use a whisk to break up the clumps. Continually whisk until it comes up to a simmer. Reduce the heat to low, cook it for 25 to 30 minutes, stirring occasionally. Alright, now for cooking off the steak bites. Heat your cast iron pan medium-high till it literally smokes. Add in the tallow and melt it in. Tallow is awesome for this because it can really handle the high heat. If you don't have tallow, you could use another high temp cooking oil like avocado oil or canola. Now add in the steak bites to that smoking hot pan. Just be very careful you don't splash that hot oil onto your hands. Keep track of which pieces of meat you put in the pan first. That way you can flip those ones first, right? If you need to tilt the pan to get the oil distributed evenly throughout the pan, then do so and cook the steak bites for about 1.5 minutes per side undisturbed, okay? Exactly what we're looking for. The beautiful crust, mild reaction, amazing flavor. Cook the other side for an additional minute and a half and then pull it from the pan. Once the pieces of the meat have been removed from the pan, you put them on a board or a plate or whatever, let them rest. Now we're going to finish this spicy garlic butter. Pour off the excess oil and then add a little bit of fresh oil to the pan and add the sliced garlic. At this point in time, you want to reduce the cooking temperature to medium-low. Give the sliced garlic a pinch of salt. Remember, the salt pulls flavor. It's very important to continuously stir the garlic at this point because the cast iron skillet retains the heat. Cook the garlic until the rawness is cooked off and starts to brown. Add the shallot and add the serrano pepper. Give the pan a little knob of butter and then season it with a little bit more salt. We're seasoning in layers. We're building flavors from here, right? Now we're cooking the shallots until they turn translucent, and we're cooking the serrano peppers just barely so that the rawness is cooked off. This is only going to take a couple of minutes. Now at that point, add the remainder of the butter. Kill the heat. The residual heat from the pan is going to melt the butter the rest of the way through and slightly brown it. This is going to be a burning set. The aroma coming off this is so nice. Slightly nutty, slightly sweet, and you can smell the spice. You want to give the polenta a taste to make sure it's done. If it is, turn off the heat and add the cream. Stir in the cream until fully incorporated. The cream is going to slightly reduce the temperature of the polenta, which is perfect for grating in this beautiful white cheddar. Stir in the cheddar until fully melted in and give this a taste. Does it need more salt? Does it need more pepper? Now it's very important to taste for seasoning after the cheese gets added because the cheese does carry some slight saltiness to it. Now we want to grab some cold unsalted butter, about 2 tablespoons worth, and add it directly to the polenta. What this does is it gives the polenta a little bit more body and it gives it some more richness to it. This style of polenta needs to get served immediately. Give it a taste to see if it needs more seasoning. Now we plate.
Awesome, dude. Now is the time to plate. The sear on this came out just beautiful, dude. Look at that mild reaction. That is flavor right there. Perfect. Of course, this polenta, nice and creamy, nice and pourable. Creamy polenta is awesome with this. You could do a mashed potato. You could do a mashed potato parsnip kind of mixture, which I have a recipe on the channel already. You can check that out right there. Vegetable wise, you do some asparagus, you could do pan roasted Brussels sprouts, you could do carrots. I cook the butter down to a burning set, like really just brown the butter, gives it great flavor. Get some of that goodness on each piece of the steak. Well, that's the garlic, that's the shallot, that's the serrano pepper. Looks awesome. And then for me, I like to finish it with a little bit of cracked pepper.
Now this dish is all about timing. If you're not good at multitasking, then you could cook the polenta first, keep a lid on it to keep it warm, and then cook off the garlic butter steak bites.
That is banging. Look at that. Spicy goodness, baby. We got spicy garlic butter steak bites. Let's dig in, dude. We got the creamy polenta on there. We got that seared ribeye. We got that spicy garlic butter on there. So good. Dude. No way. There's no way it's this good. It's such a beautiful balance between like sweet and savory. Right, you get savoriness in the polenta. You get a little bit of sweetness from the garlic and the shallot. Spices coming through. Now, seasoning on the steak is perfect, man. That smoked paprika and that garlic is really starting to come through. The seasoning on the steak, right? We got salt, pepper, smoked paprika, and then the garlic powder. It's perfect. Happy cooking, dude.